Hello, how are you guys doing? Hopefully you're doing fine. Let me post on the social media. Cool. Okay. Let me grab terminal. Let me prepare. I have been doing not much. With the you know what, okay, so those are our network logs. Currently, let's connect some more devices to this Wi-Fi. Cool. And let's run our box logstash. I have performed some enrichment and connected the logs to the elastic, so we will see how it looks like. I need to do some cleanup of the dates, which I want to focus today on. Let me show you what we are working with. Okay, so first let's go to the logstash. So first of all, I created, well, I focus only on the, at this moment, on the DNS logs. I have also flow logs, but I do not send them to the Elasticsearch at this moment, because I want, to tackle one thing at a time. And there is this concept of pipelines, which is basically, you can, like threads maybe, you can split your logstash into different, let's say, processes within itself. That's how I understand it. And what it it allows you to split the files, the configuration into separate files. Of course, you can do it without the pipelines. However, what it gives you is the main advantages of doing this is if one of the pipeline errors out, it doesn't affect the other, right? So imagine if you have separate pipeline for each log, for example, and you do some change to this particular configuration file which is connected to this particular pipeline, and you made a mistake, it errors out, you do not lose the other logs, right? Of course you could have a message broker and stuff like that, but yeah, that's something cool to have, pipelines. Let's take a look at configuration files. So I have this input file in the input pipeline, and basically it is responsible for taking the bits input and sending to the separate pipelines depending on the event type, right? So you can see DNS and flows. Of course there are more event types that I am generating in the Suricata. However, let's focus only on the DNS and a little bit of flows. So let's go to the process flow, for example, and it takes the input from the input pipeline. It's based on this virtual IP addresses, and then I do some basic enrichment of GIP on the destination. Okay, I see I have a little mistake here, but we can correct that, right? And there is ASN enrichment as well, right? So let's take a look at process DNS, which is more stuff. So it takes the input from the input pipeline, right, based on those virtual IP addresses. Okay, then I decided to drop the event type, the DNS event type of query. You can have a response and query from what I remember. So I dropped the query because it doubles the amount of logs. Basically, it's like the Windows DNS. You have the information, the all information you want in the response. So instead of, like, let's say one DNS request to some domain, let's actually see it. Remind me later. Okay, so those are the logs, and let's go to some domain, you guys, that I did not go to today. Something really not that easy, not that common. Let's go to the blueteamblog.com. I like this site. Okay, and let's grab for this site, of course without the HTTP, right, in eve.json file. Let's see what we have here. This is the first log that was generated. This is the query type, as you can see. This is for a record, so it's looking for the IP address, IPv4 address, right? Then you have next query, which is also for this domain, and it's looking for IPv6, right? You have the quad A. You can note the IP addresses like in the flows. Flows are the same. Flows are the same in those DNS requests. This is DNS. This is TLS. So let's not focus on the TLS. Let's focus on the DNS ports, right? So you have two DNS requests, and after that you have the answer. Sorry, it wasn't response, it was answer. So this is answer to the quad A. There is a IPv6 address for this domain, and this is the answer for IPv4 request, the A request, and this is the IP. Alright, so, and you can see like this is my host, this is the DNS server, you have destination port and protocol stuff, everything is here, right? So why do I need, why to double the logs when I already have this data, right? And it should also work for the NX domain. Let's generate some NX domains, perhaps. Let's go to cappuccino.pl. Okay, site cannot be reached, and let's look for it. Of course, without the HTTPS protocol. You see the requests, right? And responses. This is response for SOA type, guess. So it was looking for the authoritative DNS, right? I guess not like the biggest network guy. And then it's queried again. Then again I have SOA. This is the query again. This is SOA. It's generating lots of stuff. Let's grep for answer. Oh, that was something else. Okay, so this is response. You can see what was the response type. And what is the code, which is NX domain. So this is for A request for IPv4, and this is for quad A, which is IPv6, right? So I hope you get the point. Then I have used this community, I think it's community build filter TLD on the domain, which is hidden in this field, actually in those fields, because it's JSON, as we could see here, right? So this would be the A answer, and the error name was cappuccino.pl, right? And it is in the DNS field, so it basically is JSON. So then I took this field out of in the nested JSON, just it is easier. And then I grab the length on some fields and then change the names, really inspired by the Justin Henderson stuff. You can Google his GitHub, basically it's his code, but I needed to adjust it a little bit for the new version of Logstash. And then we do some enrichment with the domain stats, and then we send it to the Elasticsearch. But before that we need a little bit more stuff, and of course I could make another pipeline for output, but it's fine. I also print those to the screen, and process the flow logs are not being sent to the Elastic, those are only sent to the screen. Okay, there are a couple of things we need to do. We need to start Elasticsearch. We need to start Kibana. Then we need to start a Logstash, and yeah, we can start a Logstash. Then we need to start domain stats, and then we need to start file beat on our Suricata box. I think I should put Elasticsearch and Kibana on auto start, but okay, and now let's start Logstash. Let's see if it starts or not. Being Java program means it requires some time to start. Let's open Firefox. Yeah, let's go to our Kibana. Let me delete the index first, because I want to delete the old logs to see the new, because I want to do some cleanup, right, as you remember. Okay, I don't care about this. let's go to the index management. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's kinda. This is yellow half because I don't have any replicas. I think that's the case. Yeah, let's delete that. Okay, it was path. Path settings. My bot. Let's see if it starts now properly. Yeah, being the Java program, like I said, it needs more time. You can see like my different pipelines were starting. You can see pipelines running count 3 and the different pipelines. Okay, so now we can go to our little box, Suricata box, and system sudo system ctl status file bit. It's that, so we can start it. You can check the screen. Okay, connection refuse. I'm not sure why. Oh, I know why. We forgot to do one more thing, which is to start the main stats. Cool. Let's check our index. Cool. And let's go to the discover. I have already created pattern. Last 15 minutes we see some logs. Only answers, right? Event type, DNS, all is good. So we need to correct the creation date, I think. Okay, so we have different request types. Let's see the A. Let's look for this the domain that we are looking for, which is error name equals to blue team blog.com. Yeah, we got it. You can see that is looking pretty good. So let's take a look at this event. This is our index. Timestamp. This is timestamp. So this is when it was generated, when the Logstash received it. This is the answer. This is the main again. We could clean up this stuff, but sometimes you have more answers here. Okay, this is my enrichment. This is the host that requested this domain. This is something we need to think. Date field, okay. So this is 540A1. Okay, so this is the time when the request was made, and this is the time when Logstash has received it. Alright. So I want to override the add timestamp with the timestamp field and remove the timestamp, if that makes sense, hopefully. So I'm only interested in the request time, right? I don't care about the other time when the Logstash has received it. So that's one thing that we can correct. And let's do it today. However, okay, let's go to the etc logstash conv suricata open process dns.conf. Kind of slow. So I'm pretty sure we need to do it in the filter. So I guess we can do it here. Not interested in updates. So So there is this state filter. Let's see something. This is not UTC. I thought my box should be logging in the UTC. Yeah, it is in UTC. Okay. Does Suricata perform some bullshit changes? To match the local time of this box. Let's see. Actually, let's not focus on that. So I think we need to do this match and we want to match our timestamp, which is match this. Can I make it bigger for you? Okay. Now I can use some formats from what I remember. /date filter. Let's go with the ISO stuff. Time zone should be by default UTC, which I'm happy with. Target, yeah, this is my target, and I want to remove a field timestamp. Okay, I save it and it should update automatically. Let's see if we killed our stuff. Okay, should be fine. Let's go to the let's refresh this. We have one hit on this, and let's try going to bleed to blue in block one more time. and see if we have. Yeah, okay. So this is the new one. Timestamp is here. And timestamp is not here. So now we have only the time of request being not requested but answered, like, you know, which is cool. Now this creation date, which we obtain from the domain stats, which I highly recommend checking out this project on the GitHub. Not going to talk about it a lot, just go to this and you know, check it out, why not? So you can see this creation date has a problem because this is a string. And GMT is the UTC from what I can see. So we need just to swap this for time field creation date. Okay. So we need to do it here because this will ensure that this exists. It will only be performed when it exists. Let's see what happens. So I'm not sure if we do it that way. If this is smart enough. Oh, fuck. Not do it that way. Yeah, we broke it. So let's see now. We see how the pipeline is helpful. I broke this bullshit and I was able to kinda, you know, still receive the events from. Is it working? Doesn't seem like it. Let's check it out. Request the blueteamblog.com once again. Should have. This is the the old feed. Let's see the new one. Yeah, this is the new one. Timestamp is fine, creation date is not fine. Okay. Log slash string to date. Convert string to date log slash. Okay, let's see. Let's grab it. Or do I need to kind of do it like date field per backslash? I need to tell it what fields are here, right? I think that's the case. Okay, let me lower my disk. You should be hearing some movement of the engines of from the disks, from my disk. All right. This would be the day of the week. Then we have digits. Fucking month. Which should be triple M, capital M. Then full year number, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have hours. HH, minutes, seconds, something like this. And what do I do with the fucking GMT? Maybe I do the Z. Let's try this. terminal. Alright. Let's do it like that. Now let's request blue team block domain. Blue team block, yeah, domain. Once again. Well, let's see. Creation date. Yeah? Oh. It's fucking string. How do I... Can I like... Please convert it? Or I do it like that. And one more. Yeah, something like this. It's restarting. Let's request one more time. Refresh. I think I have cached it. It is being cached. So let's go to different domain. Maybe to ibm.com. Okay. Fuck. Why it's not working, man? Okay, okay, so that's not helping. This is not helping. Yeah, but it's looking good, right? So I think it is, yeah, I know what it is. Oh, good damn. So this is the issue of our index, because we have created the field. So what we can do is index management, and we can basically delete the index like that. Wait for it, should create a new one with like new type of values, which is it is like automatically extracting or observing whatever. Let's go to the ibn.com once more time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now it's cool. Wondering, because this is yeah, this is displaying in my format. I mean my time zone. Kibana, advanced settings, date format. Yeah, as you can see. I go with UTC. Yeah, let's go with UTC. Thank you. Now, go to discover. Yeah. Yay! It's working. This is one old domain. Cool. And now, with this, we can go like do some queries. But I'm interested. Let's remove this. Let's gather like today. Okay. So this is the field. And now her name request name. It's cool. Guess we should switch it. You can see what domains I was accessing. If you are like smart enough, you could see from this data. Well, not only that I was accessing Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn, which in some organization you could say that websites are not authorized. Like you can see like Manjaro is doing some pings on some frequency. So based on this you could tell that this source, where is this source? This source IP is probably Linux box with Manjaro system on it, and this is actually pretty correct. When you look at my box, it's Manjaro, so that's cool, right? That's cool usage, and you could like think about it like Windows also performs something like it's checking for the updates. What more, the Ubuntu is doing the same, I believe. So you could like discover, like if you have unauthorized device in your network and you are collecting logs this way, or from the DNS server, but you're potentially the box could be not configured to use your DNS. Your DNS server, or you have enforced like outbound deny on the port 53, then you could make sure it is using your DNS server, right? But let's see the destination IP. This is also cool, next cool stuff you can do. You can see 100% is my DNS server, right? Which is router in this case as well. But what I can do, let's change temporarily my resolver to quad 8, right? And let's request some domains. And let's imagine for a second that we are in an organization that doesn't block outbound DNS 53, right? Let's do some requests. Let's refresh. Yeah, we can see. How cool is that? How cool is this? So imagine you have closed environment in your organization. You have your local DNS servers that perform recursion, and only those DNS servers are allowed to go outbound to UDP 53 port, right? And someone is trying to go to quad 8, you could detect it. Or let's say you are not doing that, right? But you have this because you haven't blocked it. Because you wouldn't see that actually. My apologies. You wouldn't see that if you blocked, you know, the outbound DNS implicitly for your network only from the DNS server. However, you would see the denies in your firewall, right? For the quad 8 on port 53. Let's actually see those logs. Why not? I was doing some requests. Oh, you can see Manjaro. Yeah. So if you blocked, because sometimes malware could try to, you know, to use a different resolver, so you could catch it this way. I hope that it makes sense, right? Or someone in your organization is avoiding your, you know, violating your policies. Or you have an unauthorized device which is configured to use different public DNS, and you can catch it with this technique. This is cool. So we have fixed the timestamp. We have fixed creation date. There are some more stuff from the domain stats, like the frequency score and the tags and stuff like that, that we can do some more cleanup on this. For example, this tag we could like eliminate for sure. That is looking pretty good. I like it. The only date that we could fix is also this. So the domain stats is basically a service that is going to also hold the information when it was first seen by the domain stats in your environment. So you could like let's go to some domain I never went to, which is going to be very hard if you think about it, because I don't know. sec450.com. I think I never went there. Okay. Let's look for this domain. It is here. This is the IP address. And your first contact, you can see. So you could make some, because humans are really following their habits, let's say, right? So they usually go to the domains that are, you know, pretty common to them and don't change that much. So you could do some alerts on this. Use this. Also use this, right? Frequency score. It is also performing the top 1 million domain, but this is not in the 1 million domain. However, this would generate false positive, to be honest. But this domain is connected with, you know, the Sans Sec450 cores. So yes, if someone is accessing this in your, you could just do the investigation what the domain is about, right? Or just, you know, creation date could tell you that it is actually established some time ago already. I don't know, you can do mad stuff with it. And also we could fix this, right? Domain stats seen by you. Could also fix this. However, I think this would be enough for today. I try to do not like super long streams, so it is easier to watch for someone that is interested in this niche. Yeah. So I guess it's all. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Hopefully it is somehow informative for you, and yeah, you are enjoying and trying to learn with me when I tackle this enrichment. Well, it's like not really that elk heavy, because yeah, in the future I want to make some rules, of course, in the Elastic, some searches. However, this is more focused on the logging, like log pipelines, enrichment, parsing, network logs using the extraction method with the network sensor, which is Suricata, which is running on the Raspberry Pi, which is fucking awesome if you ask me. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Cheers.